Hi guys, this is Phil 2 Real. This is my first game I'm going to be Let's Playing, Sonic Mania. It's a pretty nifty game, one of my favorites in recent years. It's probably the last Sonic game I've played in recent years. I know they've made quite a couple, I think. Not quite a few, but a couple. But this is my favorite. It's very classic Sonic-esque. You can play as Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, the other two. I forget what their names are. One of them is an armadillo and the other one's a flying squirrel. I'll probably remember their names later, but yeah. So as you can see here, we're starting off like Sonic 3 and Knuckles, same opening sequence, and then it changes right here. Instead of it being Knuckles taking the Chaos Emeralds, it's these robots, the hard-boiled baddies as they are in this game. They find a special pink gemstone in Angel Island that apparently turns the screen negative and transports us into other areas of Sonic's past levels. So right here, it transports into Green Hill Zone. What are we playing, Sonic 1 now? Even the music's the same. But yeah, so we're in Green Hill Zone Act 1, the very first zone that started it all. Except for me, I didn't start with Sonic 1, I started with Sonic 2, so mine would be that game. But yeah, the zone's almost exactly a rip up until the first loop, except for that Thunder Shield up there. That wasn't in the original game, but the Thunder Shield is probably my favorite shield. There's four. There's a normal shield, electric shield, water shield, fire shield. As you can see there, the electric shield attracts rings. That's one of the things I like about it, but the one I like the most is the double jump. But let's talk about Sonic Mania. So Sonic Mania is basically like a love letter to the fans. I know when I heard about it the first time, I think it came out in 2017, and now we're here at 2023. It's a pretty special game because whenever I got done with, I want to say the last Sonic game I played was Sonic Generations, I think, and that game was great too. This game is very special because it goes all the way back to Sonic Root, side-scrolling platformer. It takes a lot of the best zones from Sonic's 1, 2, 3, CD, and gives them a nice touch of paint, color. Some of the sounds are a lot more better than the original ones. You can play with Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, the other two characters if you buy the expansion. I think it's just called Plus, I believe, Sonic Mania Plus. It's kind of worth it. I went ahead and bought it just to support the devs of this because I believe this game was not made by Sonic Team. It was made by some indie developers. I know the guy that remastered Sonic City is the one who did this game. And then of course you have the guy, I forget his name, T. Lopes, I believe, that redid the music, and it sounds like it's very much the same, but when we get to Act 2 of a lot of these levels, the remix is just like Sonic 3 and Knuckles, to where if you remember the first acts of those levels had vastly different sounds to them, tracks, and a lot of them sounded better. In my opinion, a lot of the Act 2 tracks sounded a lot better than the Act 1 tracks. But here we go, is our first special stage of the game. It's like Sonic 3 and Knuckles find the giant ring, and it takes you to a special stage. In this one, it's chasing UFOs, which, in my opinion, a lot better than Half Pipes. Half Pipes been done to death since Sonic 2. This is a lot better in my opinion. It's a big refresher from what it used to be. So the name of the game is you want to catch a UFO. You want to collect blue orbs. Blue orbs allow you to go faster once you collect a certain amount of them. The gauge tells you how much more you need. You fill up the gauge blue, you go up one level, Sonic goes faster. You kind of lose a little bit of control, but Mach 2 I feel is the best speed to catch up and have control, but you do it very gradually, whereas if you're Mach 3 you catch up really quickly but you lose a lot of control. But that's our first special stage. It's just to get you used to it. There's not any, if not any, pitfalls to lose unless you run out of time. We'll talk more about special stages when we get to the second one. So we go down this pipe, go around, you get that invincibility there. I didn't, because I'm a badass, I guess. I don't know. But No, I'm really not. You're gonna notice here, Let's Play Curse is it sometimes gets called when you play by yourself, you're not recording, you do really well, but when you start recording, you start messing up. And the boss is really easy. Hit it when it's gray, don't hit it when it's red. If you got the Thunder Shield, you can hit the top part. If you don't have the Thunder Shield, then you're gonna have to destroy the bottom part, and the top part, start bouncing around trying to smash Sonic. But yeah, easy boss. And then we get to one of the best parts about Sonic Mania, the music. This is not the original Green Hill Zone that you're hearing. This is the remix for Act 2. As I was saying before, a lot of the Act 2's tracks are much better remixes than the original. That's just my opinion. If you like the original Green Hill Zone, nothing wrong with it. But this right here, when I first heard it, I literally paused the game like, this is like Sonic 3 and Knuckles, but with Sonic 1. It sounds so much better, in my opinion. Regular Green Hill Zone track has a near and dear special place in my heart, but this is great. Okay, so now we're gonna get to our second special zone, and it's the Yellow Emerald. And so, as you see there, it took a different route than what we are taking. This is the route I like to take to get my speed up. You get a lot of blue orbs, and then those bubbles have either rings or blue orbs. You get a ring bubble, you get 10 rings, I believe. You hit the blue orb, I think it fills up like halfway or a quarter. I want to say it's a quarter, not halfway. But as you can see in Mach 2, you get quite a bit of speed, and you still maintain a lot of good control. And you want to jump over the spike balls. You hit the spike balls, you lose some rings, you kind of lose a little bit of speed, control. So you don't want to hit those. That's bad. Don't do that. Now, I would, if you had to hit them, then you have to hit them to avoid, over jumping something. I don't really think that'd be a big issue. Just to avoid everything. Special levels are not excessively unfair. Like I feel Sonic 2's have pipes, especially in the later zones. But yeah, it's our second one, and it's the Yellow Emerald. And that one showed you some more obstacles. It's still easy. The fourth one is where I feel it starts to ramp up in difficulty. I think I lose that special stage like 3 times. Or I get it on the 3rd time, I think. But the spike pole there, if you have a fire shield, you can run right over it and destroy it. But if you don't, you gotta avoid the spikes. Jump where there's no spikes. Keep moving, because if you stay still, the spikes are gonna get you. I really, to this day, I still love that 3D effect they give with that. But I digress. So you want to stick to the top part of the level to get to the next special ring. I want to say there's just 3 in Green Hill Zone, but there could be more. But yeah, this is where having Tails is handy with Sonic, because you can navigate to the top parts really easy by using their team up ability. If you hold up, jump, and press up again while you're in midair, you can get Tails to grab you, and then you can fly. Really nifty ability, keeps you at the very top, and don't do what I did there and jump into the spikes or jump onto the spikes. You could spin dash and jump off the incline to go over it, or you can play it safe like I did, get Tails to fly over. But if you stick to the top part, you can most definitely get to the last ring, this big ring for the special stage. And of course you got the zip lines here, take you around. They're really nice. It reminds me of, I think they came from Palm 3 Panic and Sonic C, but it's really nice to see them combine elements from different Sonic games together. For example, we have Green Hill Zone, Green Hill music. You got Palm Tree Panic stuff, and that blue ring box, I'm going to tell you right now, every time I get that in this playthrough, you're going to see me get hit inevitably, like right after. It's just bad, see? And then, depending on how many rings you get, those giant rings that replace the smaller rings, they could be 5 or 10. In my case, there were just 5 each because of the small amount of rings I had. But up there, you don't want to go down here. You want to go back up there. So having Tails right here is a godsend. Come on, Tails, where you at? There you go, buddy. Okay, so get Tails to fly up there, and you want to make sure you get up there relatively fast, because Tails can only do this for so long. After a while, he's going to tire out, and you're just going to start going down slowly, and then you'll go up. You'll not go up. You'll start to fall down a lot faster, because gravity's the thing. So there's our last ring. When Tails gets flushed down the toilet. And then we get our third special stage, and the difficulty kind of goes up a little bit. Now you got holes in the middle of the zone, you have spikes, and now you have certain parts that have no barrier on the side, as you'll see me demonstrate here in a little bit when I get bonked. But yeah, so now you have the ability, although it's not really ability, but you now can fall off the map or fall through the map. There on the left you see there's no guardrail. You could most definitely fall off. You fall off, you fail to the special stage, and you gotta redo it again by finding a special ring. There's only so many big rings in every zone, so if you fail to get all 7 emeralds, then you have to play through the game again and get those emeralds, and then you can get the last boss, and then you can, finish the game proper. With the extra special boss that is kind of difficult and not really. If you ask me, the boss right before it's a lot harder, but I digress. So now, as you can see here, we got some catching up to do. We got about 2. We have a decent amount of time, and then we want to stay on the road, stay off the pink colored multi-colored grounds that are in every level. This one's pink. Get the blue orbs. Okay, so there you see me get bonked. That's a guardrail. Even if you jump over it, you'll still get bonked and you get knocked back onto the track. But stay on the road. That's how you maintain your speed. It's how you keep your speed up. If you want, jump over pits, jump over that. Because you want to stay in a straight line. If you stay in a straight line, you tend to go faster, I think, in my opinion. But yeah, you can cut corners a lot better at high speeds. But again, you lose some control. As you can hear Sonic trying to peel out when he's turning. But yeah, if you stay straight, you'll get more speed, you'll stay in more control. But that's our third emerald, folks. And that is the blue one or purple one, I believe. Not very good colors, that's my wife's thing. But I digress. So back to the Green Hill Zone, we're going to get flushed down the toilet. And then we're going to fight our first Act 2 boss, which is, holy crap, it's the giant robot from Sonic 2. It's not nearly as bad, not very difficult. As you're going to see me demonstrate right here, I'm going to fail horribly at hitting this thing without getting hit. So ideally, from the high areas, you want to spin dash or jump onto it, but as you see here, I'm going to try to cheese it like I normally do, but I fail. But the good thing about it is you got rings, you have invincibility frames, so if you get hit, just, jump into the body of the robot. Best spot to do is hit it on its head, avoid spiky arms, and then spiky arms shoot out. You can jump onto the pole of it, and then you can run and then jump on top of the head of the giant robot. If you do what I did, jump off the top, you can, but after a while it'll start to speed up, and then this is where you need to actually pick up your game on this robot, start hitting it, because eventually you'll run out of road and then you will die, if I remember right. It's been a long time since I've died to that boss. But yeah, that's our first big boss of Sonic Mania. You get the roboticizer, as I call it, from the cartoon show. That's what I call it. It's probably not. Or capsule, whatever. Hit the yellow thing, release the animals, and end the level. And then you'll be greeted to a transition from one zone to the other. You can see here the hard-boiled baddies are playing around with their new toy, and Robot's like, nah, that's just mine. So he grabs it and he's going to transport it to our next zone, which is from Sonic 2. And I'll catch you on the next part, folks. Have a good one. Bye.